Welcome to Brain Vision.
So, a long time ago, the government used to regulate air travel. And this was huge because the government would decide what airplanes would fly what routes and whether someone would enter the market, if someone was allowed to enter the market. It was so regulated that for 40 years, between 1938 and 1978, no um, no new firms were allowed to enter the market because the government, the Civil Aeronautics Board, did not deem it necessary. So at some point, around the late 1970s, there was a new Deregulation Act, which completely removed the government out of the airline business and let them decide their own schedules and routes. Well, this was really major. And let's talk about some of the benefits that came from these deregulations. Because of these deregulations, airlines were allowed to set up their own routes. Uh, and again, before you had one airline who was only, like, if you wanted to go from New York to LA, there was one airline who would do that, and you couldn't get another airline. But now you had many planes flying in the same direction, so you could choose. Right now you have competition. So it really brought down the price. It reduced airfare by about 1/3 over the 20-year span. Now, before the deregulation, flights used to just take off and half the plane would be empty. After deregulation, it was mostly full. Another benefit of this were that some cities were able to create these hubs in which airlines would just fly to: New York, Atlanta. So consumers would be able to travel to these hubs and then find the right flight to go to their destination. So you would be able to go anywhere by making just one stop. And again, this was major for flight efficiency. Of course, deregulations can also have their negative effects, but we can talk that